your happiness. Find your happiness. Find your happiness today.
Hey everybody, it's Uncle B here, and you are on the Happiness from Within show with Mike P and Uncle B. How's it going? Mike, how are you doing?
All right. How about you? All good?
Pretty good, pretty good. I called you today because I want to talk to you really quick about something that has just happened recently. Everybody's up in arms over it, and I think it's absolutely crazy, and I want to get your take on it. But this is Joe Coy at the Golden Globes. All right, so here's the deal. You saw it, right? You saw it.
Yeah. Yes.
And you saw what everybody's saying about him, and people are sticking up for him. People are not. Well, basically, mostly everybody's sticking up for him. But the audience, the audience was so like just dead, like that nothing was funny. My thing was, were the jokes not funny? I'm not into the movies and the shows of today so much, so I don't know. I didn't catch some of the jokes. I did catch the Taylor Swift joke. And I really thought it was a funny joke, and I do think it was on the NFL and not on Taylor Swift.
The big difference between the Golden Globes and the NFL, on the Golden Globes, we have fewer camera shots of Taylor Swift.
I do. I do not think that was about Taylor Swift at all. And I'm wondering, when she's taking that glass of wine, it looks like they just kind of slowed the camera down for effect to make her look like she was mad.
Where? There's just more to go to here.
Was she really mad?
Oh, I think she's probably really pissed.
You think?
How dare you make fun of her?
Oh, really? So you think it was no, really?
I mean, okay, so in regards to Joe Coy, I've never watched him. I've lost interest in a lot of comics today because they are not allowed to be comics.
Okay, but have you ever seen one of his acts?
No, just a little bit.
I have to tell you. That what he did is not his act. His act is so funny. You have to see it. I do want to tell you, if you get a chance to watch him. He's hysterical.
I just know a lot of the comedians today cannot fully do their shtick because somebody is bound to be offended. Where years ago, man, everything was open and everybody knew that it was just fun.
Yeah.
You make fun of this person or that person. Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Rodney Dangerfield makes fun of himself.
Wait, what about Don Rickles? Don Rickles would be in so much trouble now.
My whole life, my friends, has been dedicated to humor about ethnic backgrounds. And a wonderful man, Jack Benny, said to me once, in the Slate Brothers in California, he's gonna get killed. This guy is gonna get killed. And I love Jack Benny. And I said, Jack Benny, I love you. He said, you're gonna get killed. Because we have to laugh at people. And that's how I built a reputation. Laughing at the blacks, the Jewish people, the Irish, the Italians, the Negroes, the Puerto Ricans, the Mexicans, all nationalities. God put us on this earth to laugh. Right, God?
The comedians today, I do feel bad for a lot of them. And it's almost like somebody in the woke group is going to say something horrible.
Yeah.
In regards to Joe Coy, from what I understand, he only had 10 days to come up, with the Golden Globes. I'm sure some of it was written on his own. I'm sure some of it was written by producers.
By writers, yeah.
I'm not a comic. I know it is a very hard job. I know it takes a lot of guts to stand up there and try to make someone laugh.
Yeah, and can you imagine going into a room of people that's what they do for? They're all comedians, but they're all jaded. And I use that word. I love that word because I use it with my kids. I use it all the time. They're all jaded. They're not, it's not the normal person sitting in a chair at all.
So yeah, that takes a lot of guts to stand up and do that. To only have 10 days and hey, here's an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour show that you have to host.
Yeah.
That's hard.
And you got to give that 20-minute monologue.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, could you imagine like a Joan Rivers now, right?
No.
You know, and she used to, and she was even edgy when she was out, like, you know, and she would say it. She would, when the audience would grow, and she would say, "Oh, grow up, like grow up."
Yeah.
Like, she literally told them. And you'll see other comedians say that, like, come on now, you know, it's a, I'm being funny, but All in the Family, the shows that we used to have.
I saw a picture of him today of Archie
Of Archie.
in Eden. Yeah, just a younger version. And, you know, you just bring back all these memories of stuff that could not happen today. But it
Yeah.
was just funny. It didn't hurt anybody.
And also what I see is a lot of shows are throwing politically correct things into the storylines just for the sake of throwing them into the storylines. I don't know if you noticed that.
I do.
And I can see if it's a part of the story, great, but don't just do it
Just to
because
piss
you
off
want to be,
outside.
you want your show to be politically correct too.
Yes.
Or all inclusive. All inclusive. I'm sorry, all inclusive.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of the sitcoms today that they are throwing things in. No, granted, All in the Family, that was political back then.
It was political and it was all inclusive.
Yes, they made
And
fun
it
of
was all
everybody.
inclusive. You know, if you remember the man, I think her name was Beverly, huh?
You couldn't even call somebody a meathead today.
Yeah, right. But her name was Beverly, and Archie gave her mouth to mouth. He saved her life, and she ended up being a female impersonator.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that
Yes.
episode?
I was telling your wife, Mr. Bugler, I'm no lady.
Ah. Well, listen, how you earn this 50 is no business of mine. I will just say thank you, miss, unless you girls like to be called Ms.
Why don't you call me Mr.?
I do.
Right. So there's a classic example of making it all inclusive without making it all inclusive. You know what I mean? Like that was great. It's classic.
Yes. But yeah, I think I feel bad in a way because the comedians have such a hard job. They can't, you know, they can't be themselves, or they can't come up with their own, you know, their own shtick. It's almost like if you don't conform, then somebody's going to try to get rid of you.
Right. Well, you know, it's funny because they asked Kevin Hart, would he ever do the Golden Globes? I don't know if you saw any of that.
Did
you see that?
I did.
And he actually said, never. You'll never see me do it. It's a thankless job.
Right. And again, Kevin Hart is a funny guy, and you know, you stand up, and if somebody doesn't like what you say 30 years ago, they're gonna come at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're again, Kevin Hart, man, they tried to destroy the man because of something he said 30 years ago when he did step on stage.
Well, you know, Joe Coy also did a joke about Robert De Niro. So here's the difference in actors or their security level.
Yes,
so he did a joke about Robert De Niro, and Robert De Niro, and it was a good joke, but Robert De Niro laughed like, you know, he played along. Not, you know, I don't know that he was upset or not, but he was like, that was a good joke. Like it was a funny joke, and he didn't. I think it's a lot of security level. You know, in that room were a lot of younger talents that maybe weren't secure in their talent, and that's why the jokes didn't hit them.
I don't know if it's a security. It may very well might be a security. Maybe it's a entitlement.
Like, how dare you make fun of me?
Yeah, I don't know. And they're getting
really.
And to go back to Taylor Swift, an extremely talented young lady.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
anything that girl touches turns to gold.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know that she was. I'm telling you, when I look at that camera angle, I think, they're making this that she was upset, but I'll bet you that she was not. She just was like I'm even wondering if they took a shot from a different time when she was just taking a drink.
Maybe, and there again, I'm not a huge fan of Taylor Swift. I don't know much of her music, but
Right.
maybe she just shook it off. No, like you said, the girl she is an extremely talented,
Jeez.
hardworking young lady.
And generous.
Marketing, I mean, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing.
You
I
can't.
wish I had that knowledge, man.
You can't. And I mean, you have to give her all the. So, and like I said, and I don't think the joke was about her.
No,
I
no,
really don't.
I think it is more on the NFL.
It was totally like
They've had such a bad rap over that little period of years.
it's almost like the NFL is a Swiftie. The NFL is a Swiftie.
Now,
She's
it is amazing how much attention she is bringing the NFL. Maybe that's the plant.
Yeah, right. How many people now are watching because they might get a glimpse of Taylor Swift?
Yeah,
right. So
maybe they're
but
not
I,
really...
I just think they crucified him.
Yeah,
as if, but it wasn't. I'm talking about the room.
yes,
The room did not play along. They did not play along with him, and I can't understand why. You're a performer, that's a performer. You half smile, you half giggle, you half laugh. You don't just deadpan. Meryl Streep, she half laughed. She gave it, she laughed and she gave him back. I can't imagine standing there and having them respond that way. Like, I can't believe he didn't say to them, listen, instead, because he said it's the I didn't write that one.
I didn't write this one.
Right. He should have said, hello, are you all like, what's going on out there? Are you having a good time tonight?
That's it. You're there, man. You're one of the top names in your category,
your field.
Profession. Fun, for God's sakes.
Yeah, they weren't having fun.
I mean, you're there because you're very good at what you do. Yeah.
Laugh. So I don't think it was Joe Coy at all. I think it was that room.
Yeah, I agree. I think there were too many sticks stuffed up somewhere that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe they were on the chair. Who knows? But yeah, it was a very cold room, and look, nobody likes to be made fun of, but he's a comedian. Laugh at yourself.
And like you said, in terms of politically correctness, I mean, I don't think any of his jokes were not politically correct.
Yeah, none of them were horrific,
No.
in one way or another.
No, but he made fun of what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Of the shows, of the people there. That's part of it,
Right.
Like, had that been a Don Rickles, forget it. What would they have done then? Would they have walked out?
You never know.
Right? They would have got up and walked out because Don Rickles would have been right in their face.
And in today's world, in that very woke, don't make fun of me world, maybe they would have.
Yeah. And that had to alter the writing of the jokes. Like, is so much political correctness and what's going on actually altering writing in the comic field now? Not only just writing in television and what you're seeing, now it's actually going into comedy. It's altering or censoring what they can say.
I think you're right. Yes, absolutely. Take Saturday Night Live, just in general. I know you watched that whenever you were younger. I did. You stayed up to watch it.
Everybody did.
And it was funny. And they made fun of everyone.
Everybody.
It didn't matter who the president was, if you were Democrat or Republican, they made fun of funny things.
Yes.
Today, not so much. The late shows across the board. Johnny Carson, once again. Were they political? Sure. But they made fun of everybody.
Everybody. Nobody
got
was
the-
off limits.
You got all, depends on the channel that you watch today, is the way that these folks make fun of that political side.
Whose agenda? They have their
Yeah.
own. The channels have their own agenda, and they shouldn't.
And now the funny thing is, I mean, if you really think about it, we got a bunch of weirdos in Washington, and they're both, you can make fun of both sides.
There's
all the way
enough
around.
comedy there. That's
I mean, absolutely. So yeah, I think if everybody would just lighten up a little bit, have fun, and not worry so much about offending somebody because this activist group might get upset with it.
right.
Just-
Or I'm going to hurt your feelings with this joke about your 2-hour-long movie. Like
yeah.
I think I don't know the movie, so I don't know, but I know he
Neither
said
do I.
like I'll finish watching it in 2025, and I laughed at that because not even knowing the movie, I thought that's pretty funny. This must be one long ass movie.
You know what? And I don't know the movie either. I just can't comprehend. And I know the one movie is very serious and the one movie is not.
Right.
How could you have Barbie and Oppenheimer
Yes.
the same sentence? They're completely two different.
Yeah.
I mean, it just as an audience, I don't know.
But I think I think he did a good job. I feel bad for him. I think also though, on the flip side, this is giving him more notoriety than had he had gone out there and killed it.
I heard somewhere that is it any what is it? What is it?
Oh, any publicity is good publicity,
Publicity.
even
Yes.
bad publicity, right?
Yes.
And sometimes I think bad publicity is even better.
Yeah. It's how you handle
Yeah.
what's thrown at you. Yeah. And
And
you're gonna make fun of yourself. Have to.
I'm sure I can't wait to see. If you haven't watched him, definitely check out some of his stuff.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the jokes that he comes up with about himself
Oh yeah.
doing this. Right?
Yeah.
He has a whole nother 20 minutes in his act now about the Golden Globes and how this, what
Like Chris Rock
transpired.
with the last the Emmys or whatever the hell he did when Will Smith had his little hissy
Oh,
fit.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris Rock's just shot to the top. He has so much information.
And I mean, that's a whole other one right there. Like, okay, I understand the
I thought that was a funny joke, quite honestly.
it was funny, and I didn't understand that, her condition. So I didn't know all that. But even though it was not, he didn't understand it. He made a joke, and it was a good joke. She's a beautiful woman. I don't care if she has no hair on her head.
100%, absolutely a
Right?
very,
Like she's
very-
absolutely gorgeous. So there was nothing. That was not a bad joke. That was a compliment.
Did you ever see G.I. Jane?
Yes,
I thought that was a phenomenal movie just with Demi Moore.
absolutely.
I actually took that as a compliment when Chris Rock had said, "Hey, G.I. Jane 2,"
Yeah.
because I mean, Jada Smith would have. There again, phenomenal, good-looking woman.
And a good actress. So in
You
that role,
her in
she would
that
have been a
role,
great.
yeah.
She'd been great in that role.
Yeah. I'd have taken that as a compliment.
And they
But-
didn't. But then again, it boosted him. Like no publicity is bad publicity. So Joe Coy, you got it. You got it. Don't worry about it. I still love you. And now I got a new fan for you here, Mike.
Yeah, I gotta watch him now. Just like I said, you gotta love a good comic that's able to make everybody laugh.
When he does his family jokes, it's my family, it's your family, it's everybody's family. When he does family jokes, it is they're I mean, all his jokes are very funny, but when he does, particularly, I laugh at his mother's when he's talking about his mother. I laugh. I think it's so funny.
From how you're describing him, I think of My Big Fat Greek Wedding, the movie.
Yes. Yes.
There again, every nationality sort of has their little nuances,
Right.
stereotypes. You have to be able to laugh because it's so funny.
Right.
I mean,
And that stereotype in that nationality
yeah.
is just a different word in your nationality, because you have the same stereotype, just not with,
Yeah. It's not like you're putting somebody down. It's,
no,
like you said, everybody does things a little bit
a little bit
different.
differently, a little bit differently. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to call you. I wanted to know what you thought about that. Everybody, this is a quick happiness from within tour. Mike, but I just, so many people were talking about it. I'm like, I gotta call him up. I gotta find out what he thinks of this.
No, I'm glad you did. It's I just have my issue with everybody so tight and stuck up these days, or stuck on themselves. You have to be able to laugh at yourself. Laughing makes you happy. When you laugh,
Laughing.
somebody else will be happy.
Yeah, and that's your happiness from within.
Yes.
Be able to laugh at yourself.
You have to, because we're all funny. Either that or funny looking, right?
And none of us are perfect.
None. Nobody
And,
is.
and if you take it so serious, I really can't get the image of that room out of my head. And I can't imagine him standing on that stage looking at those people. Like, I just would, I would definitely break it and be like, what the?
Oh, I would have got thrown out.
Yeah,
look in
come
that room.
on.
Oh, yeah.
We're supposed to have a good night here, right? Isn't this like the one where you all drink? Isn't the Golden Globes the one where everybody's allowed to drink?
Yeah. And then after you go out party some more, nobody knows what you're doing. You have a good time.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Plus
All right, everybody.
Oh,
Have a great day, Mike.
All right, man. Take care.
Talk to you later. Bye.
See you.
Your happiness.